Thoughts on the Benavidez Morrel fight?
Oh, wow. You threw me a curveball. I thought you...
FightHype.com here with the legendary Teddy Atlas. Teddy, thoughts on the Benavidez Morrel fight?
Oh, wow. You threw me a curveball. I thought you were going to... See, that's why you're good. You don't do the expected. You're not predictable. Like a fight is supposed to be. You know, don't come in the front door, come in the side door. Don't talk about Bivol and Beterbiev. Talk about another great fight that people are not sleeping on, but right now it's not in the forefront of their mind because they're thinking about the Beterbiev fight. But wow, that is an interesting fight. And you know why it's interesting? It's a dangerous fight for both guys. Number one, very dangerous fight. Both of them were terrific amateurs, undefeated as pros. I mean, Morrell comes from the legendary Cuban national team. You know, in the Olympics, everything else. He won a world title in a short period of time, like only a few special fighters have. You know, guys like Lomachenko, Riyadh, you know. Who else? There's been a few, but a handful of guys that could win a title in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights, which he did. So, hey, don't forget, I know people don't give him enough respect, but he really should get it. I can't help but say it. I like people getting respect than they should. I really do. Leon Spinks, you know, he beat Ali after what, 9 fights, whatever it was, shorter period of fights. So it's two guys in there that have the future in front of them in their career, and they're taking a risk. They're both taking a big risk. That's what, for me, that's what makes this fight so special. Their talents, their undefeated records, what's at stake, right? All of that. But that they're taking a risk when a lot of the fighters wouldn't. They'd say, no, I'm going to wait for a bigger fight. I'm going to, you know, not a bigger fight as far as danger, but a bigger fight as far as maybe a payday or, you know, whatever it could be. But you got a guy like Morrell. Not all those kind of fighters at this stage of their career would go and take on a dangerous fight against a guy like Benavidez, you know, and Benavidez, give him all the credit in the world. Like goodness, him and his father, give them credit that, you know, they didn't get the Canelo fight. You know, they're right in line for the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev. And what do? They just sit around and, you know, twiddle their thumbs, or sit around and fight a soft touch? No, they take this. So I'm chomping at the bit.
Great fight.
I'm really curious for that fight.
It's a great fight.
Really, yeah.
I've got another good one, mate. Tank Davis versus Roach, mate. Is it pay-per-view worthy? Is it a big fight? Give me your thoughts on that one.
I happen to think, listen, Roach, well, obviously he's a solid fighter, but for me, Tank Davis is in the elite class of boxing right now. You know, he's just in the higher altitudes of the sport. He's in the top 5 for me. You know, when you talk about the top 5 best pound for pound right now, you're saying so. And for me, he's there not just because he's a puncher, because he's an all-around package. You know, he can box, he can counterpunch, he can go get you, he can go to the body, go to the head, put punches together. His defense is responsible, he's patient, you know, he's mentally together. You know, he as I said, he's a top guy. So obviously I'm going to favor him. I mean, anything can happen when you're in there with another solid guy.
Is the pay-per-view worthy, you think?
Listen, I think anyone that has competed at a decent level and he can get himself a shot is worthy. I mean, if he's earned the right by winning enough fights, you know, and positioning himself, and obviously good management, all that, but then you're going to say, yeah, does that mean that everything's in levels? Does that mean that he's as high a level as some of the other guys, or there's some of the other guys that might be more worthy in that kind of way as far as grading them, as far as guys that, you know, would have maybe a better chance on paper against Tank? I'm not saying that. everything is in levels. I'll say this, that Tank Davis, at the end of the day, he's earned the right to have. I don't think anyone is a layup. I don't think anybody is a freebie. They're not. But I think he's earned the right to be able. You know, he's fought everyone. People say, "Oh, he didn't." I hear some. Thank God I don't really go on the internet too much because I lose my mind. Well, some of these people say things that are silly.
Oh, it's crazy.
No, they're just silly.
Keyboard warriors.
They're ignorant.
Yeah.
Like some of them. I mean, some of them are smart, but there's great fans out there.
Yeah,
I give you all the credit in the world. But some of you, oh my goodness, say, "Oh, he hasn't fought no one." Hasn't fought anyone. What are you talking about? So I think he's earned the right to have, again, you know, to have a fight that isn't World War III. You know what I mean?
It keeps him active, keeps him busy.
I don't begrudge him that.
And also now, obviously, Bivol versus Arthur. How do they look on the scales? What's your thoughts on the fight?
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm gonna pick Bivol. I have nothing but full respect and admiration for both fighters.
Yeah.
The way they conduct themselves in the ring, everything, carrying themselves as champs. Both of them are complete fighters. Beterbiev, people think he's just a seek and destroy, you know, missile. No, they're wrong. They're wrong. He's buttoned up technically. He's solid.
He was an Olympian. He beat a win over Usyk.
He covers up real well, yeah. And he dropped Usyk. You know, and Usyk's special.
Very special.
You know, he's a guy that, he had 300 amateur fights. Beterbiev is a guy that, because he's aggressive, you don't get enough credit, and he knocks everyone out for being technically sound. People does, because of the way he goes about his business.
Of course.
But Beterbiev don't. But he comes in behind a solid, hard jab. He understands distance very well. Sometimes he'll step slightly out of range, just slightly out of range. He'll take a walk around the park a little bit, around the corner, like the old timers would say. You know, if he's looking for a key to get in there instead of coming in the front door, he'll give you little subtle feints every once in a while. You know, he's always balanced. He's never reaching. He's never leaning. You know, he's always under control. So, yeah, you know, he don't look as polished as a Bivol. He's not that style. He don't have those kind of gifts. But the gifts he has, well, they're the gifts that got him to 20-0. They're the gifts that have him here. They're the gifts that got him all those belts.
That's right.
Not just power, but delivering the power. And his greatest asset is his consistent pressure. He evaporates guys. I'll say it again. He evaporates guys. You know, he's like a pot of water, boiling water. You know, you look at a pot of boiling water, you know, it's boiling, it's full. You come back 10 minutes later, it's gone. There's no more water. It got evaporated. He does that to opponents. The reason I'm picking Bivol, yeah, he's got the style, yeah, he can control distance, yeah, he can give angles, you know, he's got a good jab, he's got good hand speed, he puts punches together really well. All of that. He controls range where he sets traps, you know, I think I said it already, counter punches, all of that stuff. But that ain't why I'm picking him.
It's a great fight.
I'm not picking him for that reason. I'm picking him because of this.
Yeah.
Because I think that he is the first guy in 20 fights that can match Beterbiev for mental toughness. Even though he don't have the look that Beterbiev has. Do not sleep on this guy as far as being mentally tough. I think that he's just as mentally tough in his own way.
Yep.
And I think that he will not evaporate. That's it for me.
Thank you very much, Teddy. FightHype.com.